Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. All right, welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. We expect that Nick will be joining us here shortly. He's running just a touch behind tonight, finishing up a couple things for your viewing enjoyment pleasure. So hopefully we'll be able to do all that here soon.
I don't know why.
But want to remind you that this is the podcast where red shirts come back from away missions, but only to be shot by the stormtroopers.
Hey, at least the stormtroopers hit something.
Well, we didn't say what they got shot by, but just
you said only to be shot by
the stormtroopers, but we didn't say what they anyway.
That doesn't mean that the stormtroopers were aiming at the red shirts. So, I guess
no. It's the laser beams, they bounce. The laser bullets.
And also, for some reason, when you said that Nick is running a touch behind, all you had to say was touching behind, and my brain goes, Nemo touched the butt. That's
we got that going for us.
But, before we get into tonight's show, and I get to do this because Nick's not here, we need to thank our show partners, River City Teas and Level Up Lightsabers. So let's roll that beautiful nerd footage.
With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Teas has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Teas has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Teas has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Teas has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Teas on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Teas. Let's make a shirt together.
See, I've decided I'm Nick now.
Well, Chris would like to remind us that we are Nicholas, at least for a couple more minutes.
I have a mustache, so it's...
it's that tiny mustache. Much mustachioed.
All right, that was half of our show sponsors. The other half is Level Up Lightsabers. Righty, and those will be in the show notes and comment section like they are every week.
We're getting there. I got them in.
If you
under the wire.
buy a Level Up Lightsaber, you also get one of these handy-dandy beautiful boxes.
What does the box do?
The box is what the hilt comes in, but I keep my charger in it.
There you go.
So I don't lose it. Which is great until I lose the box. Anyway.
I like how you're planning ahead for that. That's solid.
Well, no. When my lightsaber died the other day, and I'm like, oh, I should go grab the chart. Where did I leave the box? But I found it.
You did find it.
All
you
is
found
well.
it. All right, guys. Before we bring in our guests, I want to take a moment to remind you that if you subscribe here on YouTube, it helps us out a ton. But also, you have another opportunity to help us to continue to create content. And that is by just what you see on the screen there, the opportunity to buy us a coffee. If you click that link, that's not only in the show notes, but it's here in the comment section as well. Cool. And that gives us the opportunity by your small donation to help continue get us the funds that we need to put on the show, to do the things and to have the discussions and all that kind of stuff.
Pay our co-pays for therapy.
And now we have a Nick. We are no longer Nicholas.
But I was going to do a Nick impression.
Well, you still can.
It's not fun now.
Not as much fun?
He can see me making fun of him now, so.
Chris, we are no longer Nicholas. We have a Nick. We have been Nickified. We've been nicked. Yes, there it is. We've been nicked.
Is there an antibiotic for that?
Probably.
Unfortunately, I've been Nicholas all my life.
I'm a good boy. Can we just, okay?
Are you really?
No. Anyway,
We wouldn't be friends if that were the case.
all right. Let's see. We're at the point where we can start inviting some people in. Nick, you
If
want to take
they're
that?
still here and they haven't run for the hills.
No, I see them in the green room. They're
good.
laughing. They might be crying. I'm not positive. Either way, I'm not sure how they feel yet. We'll figure it out.
Well, tonight we welcome back some of our favorites that we've had here before. We have Jake the Jedi.
What up,
Welcome,
Jake?
What's going on? How's everyone
And
doing?
we have Ben the Hearty Healer from TikTok.
Welcome, guys.
You say
Thanks
they're
for
our
having us.
favorites, which is going to be really sad when in like 2 weeks we announce somebody else and we're like, and our favorites, and then Ben and Jake.
Well,
will be sad.
he actually did it really well. He said one of our favorites. He didn't say they were our favorites. That way we
Does
can.
that mean
we
that
can-
only one of the two
Yeah, so
is our favorite?
which one of us is the favorite?
Exactly. See now
Hey,
we're
would you look at that? We need you guys
Battle
to
to
tell
the
us more
death.
about yourselves. And so
I'll
yeah,
go ahead, Ben.
take a quick second here. Ben, we'll start with you, just because this goes left to right on my screen, so like I would read it. So Ben, tell us a little bit more about you, where people can find out your stuff and why they should be following you.
Stuff about me. I'm just an absolute nerd. Comics, movies, books, everything you can think of. Main beings and like main components of my personality are Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Marvel. So having me on this is wonderful. And you can all find me
Excellent.
on TikTok at Hearty_healer, where I do variety of content just all over, doing everything. I recently got a brand new Spider-Man suit, so I'm excited to make some content with that. That's going to be
Excellent.
great.
I'll be checking that out later tonight. Now that I know you have it, see what
just
you got done
because
so far.
I've watched other people's TikToks with Spider-Man suits. Does it have the zipper in the back?
Yes, and I actually came up with a very interesting way to get in and out of the suit
Oh,
quickly.
good. There was a TikTok the other day of somebody who was stuck in his Spider-Man suit because his roommates weren't going to be home and he couldn't get it unzipped.
That is a
Define
problem.
quickly.
Oh.
Define quickly.
So the main problem is, the irony of it is when you put yourself in a Spider-Man suit, you actually have less grip. Because you got the finger things, you can't actually grab anything. And the zipper is like that big. So what I did was I took a very thin but sturdy black string, tied it to the zipper. So now I can grab the string and just and then tuck it into the back of the suit. And if I need to take it off, it's the same thing and just pull it down. I can get in and out of my Spidey suit in probably less than a minute.
Big brain.
So,
That is.
Wow.
Why don't they have that
Wow.
on women's dresses?
because the fashion industry is terrible.
That's true.
And they
That
still
is-
haven't given you pockets, so you know.
That's true.
They do that specifically to sell pocketbooks, to sell purses.
I would like
John
to
says
tell
that's like
him
when we're at
that-
a family dinner and I say it's so nice to be surrounded by friends and family. It always leads to questions of who is which.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Oh, and I thought of, because I was muted and I couldn't respond, another Nick entrance of "You've been nicked by the blade."
Oh, look at you go. Wow.
So my cat
Does
was
that
actually
make me the favorite? Does that make am I the favorite now?
It might be.
Well, on that note, Jake, it's time for you to introduce yourself.
I was gonna-
You know-
Are you
What's going on, everybody?
here because your cat is in your chair, Nick?
Well, the cat was like in this chair, and I was actually thinking about having the chair to the back of the camera and like have the cat there and just turn around all like, "Mwahaha."
Dr. Evil style. Nice. All right, Jake, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Let them know where to find you and why they need to follow you.
All right, so I used to only promote my TikTok, but I have a YouTube channel now. I already posted 2 videos on there, so if you guys haven't seen them, go check those out. And I actually just announced last night on my TikTok my first podcast at the end of this month. So
Hey.
you guys have inspired me. I appreciate all you guys. I have a couple of TikTok guys from the Star Wars community on there. It'll be on the 28th at 9 o'clock.
Nice.
So come check us out over there on YouTube.
So what's the name of the show going to be?
I don't know yet. I think we're still working on that. I don't know. I just
Okay.
might be unnamed for now, but we'll see. If you guys
Okay.
have any ideas, let me know.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put the big brain on it. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we might need some tips from you guys too. I'm working on setting it all up still. So
All right, man. Well, cool.
Oh, man.
We'll
Where
look-
do
we'll look forward to
where
that. What's
other
the,
people want tips from us?
Yeah, it usually doesn't end well. But What's the name of the YouTube channel? So if people are looking
Jake the
for
Jedi,
it,
same thing.
Jake the Jedi. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
You got to look for the Mandalorian helmet logo because
Yeah,
I just subscribed and hit the bell next to subscribe. But there is another Jake the Jedi where it's just some kid in a plaid shirt going.
Yeah.
And I assumed that wasn't you.
Sorry, the goal is to make that guy not even pop up when you search up the name. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I get that. All right, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to see what you come up with. I'm looking forward to your content.
Awesome.
So, all right. So, tonight's topic, the festivities at hand. We have much to consider, and well, time to do it. And for those who are wondering what we're going to talk about, it's this. KENOBI. Okay, so maybe not the Darth Maul portion of it, but it was more fun for me to have Darth Maul screaming Kenobi than just to say, "Hey, we're going to talk about Kenobi," which I guess
if you weren't going to do that, I was going to do that.
See, you guys do the Kenobi, and I'm like, Ewan McGregor. Because I'm a girl.
Well, Chris, actually, that's a great question, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. To how happy were you all when you heard "Duel of the Fates" on the Obi-Wan trail? I guess we'll start off with that right now, since
goodness.
that's the first question, the first topic in.
Because it's awesome. Sorry.
Chills everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Literally what I was gonna say. I'm playing back that memory in my head, and I'm getting that feeling of just a combination of childlike wonder and just straight up chills of just like I'm instantly that little kid again watching like the Phantom Menace trailer with Darth Maul just and I'm just like just the moment you hear that, it's like, oh my god.
I love that even as responsible adults, we hear a lightsaber, we hear Darth Vader breathing, or we hear even just the opening number for the movies, and we're like, Star Wars. Because
if I hear any of those things, you have my instant attention.
Oh yeah.
It's like a deer hearing a twig snap.
Yep.
I have to see what's going on.
It's crazy. The other day, my neighbors were watching Empire Strikes Back, and I could tell that it was Empire Strikes Back because I'm in my kitchen making food, and just so faintly I can hear Yoda's theme in the distance, and I'm just like, where? What's happening? I actually went outside, and I'm like, it's over there.
Did you show up at your neighbors with like whatever food you were cooking? You're like, I brought a gift. Let's watch movie.
Okay, move over. I'm sitting down. No. But it did make me instantly just go to and turn on Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to watch Clone Wars now.
Yep. Yeah, that's been kind of my my go-to as of late. Whenever I watch something or I see, like the other day, the first time I saw the Kenobi trailer, instantly I was like, now I gotta go watch Clone Wars, which is my reaction to everything, because that's my go-to. Other than Empire, that's probably my favorite piece of Star Wars right now is the Clone Wars series.
So good.
There has been an extreme amount of Lego Star Wars in our house lately.
I only really liked one of those.
They're interesting. They are definitely the right speed for the tiny person.
Sure. No, I get that completely.
If that's what's going to get her into Star Wars, then cool.
I'm
good with watching it.
That's a good gateway. Yeah.
It has gotten to the point though now where she's telling me that Darth Vader is her favorite. Because the Lego Darth Vader is the worst. He is the clumsiest and he farts and it's hilarious. But those are her reasons behind thinking that Vader is her favorite. And I'm like, oh, sweet summer child. We'll get
now.
We can morph that into something else later.
That's true.
I'm like, we will get to the point where you realize why Vader is your favorite. And it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, Darth Maul, he died in Rebels, right?
Correct.
And Rebels actually takes place
after. It's a year before A New Hope.
Okay, so it would be after Kenobi. So it is possible we get some Darth Maul.
He missed it.
Jake, would you like to pop that bubble?
So actually today I saw an article. I don't know how legit it is, but I see a lot of people reposting it, so I'm assuming it's pretty legit. He actually was supposed to be in it, but before they filmed it, he got cut. I didn't read the whole article. I don't know who by who, but
Boo.
we were supposed to get him. He wasn't going to interact with Kenobi, is what the article says, but he was going to be like in a flashback or do off on his little scene. I don't know. It's not happening.
Oh my god.
We can still hope, though. You never know. They could lie.
Yeah. So it's on goodness, I can't remember the full name of this website, but it's cbr.com. It's comic book resource, I think. Anyway, I probably did that wrong, but they've been a very trustworthy source for me in the past, and I've used their stuff pretty pretty much. But they're saying for sure that Kenobi, Darth Maul scenes starring Ray Park.
But I'm wondering if they're doing that to throw us off.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
True. I do love how they took that picture to say they cut Darth Maul.
Right?
It's literally just him falling into the pit after Obi-Wan cut him in half.
Right. Now, but on the other hand, there is this website. This is from the CBR website was from today. This was from 4 days ago. That Sam Witwer is teasing series involvement for Kenobi. So
he didn't say much about it last weekend, so I don't know.
Well, he
obviously can't. He can't, but
Andrew Garfield fought off rumors for No Way Home for
but
God knows
so
how
obvious.
long.
So obvious,
Trust
yeah.
anybody anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, also Disney's non-disclosure agreements are practically your
ironclad.
firstborn,
Yeah.
and
We do have it on Sam's word that he would deny anything.
Yes, he did. He told us that.
He did say
And the thing is that when we had Daniel Jose Older on, who's the lead story architect for the High Republic. He was joking that he had drones circling his house to make sure that he didn't say anything that he wasn't supposed to on interviews.
you'd like to think it's a joke, but he's probably got little Mickey Mouse head bugs planted in his house that he doesn't know about.
It's entirely possible. But so as much as I would love to see Maul and Kenobi, go at it again. In a live action setting, but John says, I'm pretty sure that Disney has perfected the neuralizer technology for Men in Black. Nobody remembers anything after they leave the set. Probably not wrong on that one either.
There were reports of other people who shouldn't be anywhere near the set driving by in cars on the set, and I'm like, because they're messing with you. Like,
yeah,
there were pictures of Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman in vehicles around the set, and I'm like,
yeah, I think that
they're messing with you.
It depends on it. Well, it all depends if they film flashback scenes, then that would make sense. If they went back to Padme on certain things, that would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know how. I'm excited to see where this series goes. It has so many possibilities, and to me, this is almost like the start of before the Book of Boba Fett dropped. There was all the speculation as to what was going to happen and how it was going to happen and who could be part of the series and who might be part of the series. But let me bring up a topic here, and we'll get our guest's opinion first. Everybody has seen the trailer, and it's kind of been split almost in half, where people are just super excited about it, or they have a problem with the Grand Inquisitor's head. So where do you guys sit on this, and what are your thoughts?
Jake, take it away because I'm gonna get angry.
All right. I'll make mine quick. My explanation is quick. So I don't understand it. I don't have a problem with it. Like, look at the biggest examples. You got Cad Bane in Boba. You got Ahsoka with her marshals. You have Count Dooku, Mace Windu, the Emperor, all in the Clone Wars. Like, it just doesn't. You can't put it on that. And then people are comparing him to the same species that we see in Episode 3 when Obi-Wan goes to Utapau. But that guy could just be older, or he could be a different race within the species. Like, So I said this in my my YouTube video. I reacted to the trailer, but it just like, in my opinion, I don't get it. It's just not worth it. Like, just enjoy the show.
Right. Okay.
So now for
Ben?
the opposing opinion.
Do it.
I love Rebels. Honestly, as much as I do love the Clone Wars, Rebels is where I actually like fully connected with Star Wars.
Okay.
But when it comes to what they did with the Grand Inquisitor for Kenobi, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can rationalize what they did with Ahsoka's mom trolls. I'm like, okay, they want to do crazy action scenes and stuff with her. It's really difficult to do that when you're wearing like basically a massive pillow on your head the whole time. So that made sense to shrink it down. The only on-screen like movie appearance we have of Aduros, which is Cad Bane, was in A New Hope in the cantina. So I'm like, of course they're going to change it from there because they only show up once for like 5 seconds. They're just in the background. But we have a very clear depiction of what the like this species looks like, and it's not that they're like a different subspecies or anything. That this is just straight up they didn't. This is just Disney not giving enough freedom to like the makeup department and the costuming department.
Can you pull up a picture of the other one from episode 3 too? To put next to those, if you can.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it bothers me because I've seen cosplayers with $30 do a much better job than what they're doing now. Am I going to hate the show? Am I going to hate the actor? Absolutely not. They could be a phenomenal Grand Inquisitor. They could be the greatest piece of Star Wars we've ever seen in the world. But as of right now, just that 2-second scene, I'm not happy with it. Because the multi-billion-dollar corporation that is Disney can't afford to give their makeup department and costuming department the resources to give them the proper look. It just,
all right, so I can't get them on the same picture.
Pull it up real quick.
I'm sure it's out there, but there's this guy.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Is this came out before Rebels, right? So
yes.
Are we wrong to assume that Rebels should have had him look like this if they're the same species? You know what I mean? So if we want to get that technical,
well, this is
Rebels.
I've had this argument before, where this is the difference between live action and stylized. In the same way of like Clone Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi does not look like Ewan McGregor,
right?
Not at all, unless he like shaved his beard to be angular. So that's the difference between like the stylized version and what it would look like in live action.
Okay, but wouldn't that argument work in the reverse? That so now we're having an issue with stylized versus.
Well, because we first got the appearance of it in live action. When it comes to Cad Bane, I let that slide because the 5-second Duros in A New Hope I don't really count. So we only saw them in this stylized art of Clone Wars. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense that they changed it. Totally fine.
But also, it's like, it's what? It's a 3-second clip that's got...
Yeah.
That the Grand Inquisitor is looking down, so the head is going to look different anyway because that's not a direct shot at the face. That
we don't know yet.
It could be partially shadowed.
Yeah, true, but there is a big difference between like cone head and round head. But at the same time, my main problem with this, I guess, division of the community, I don't know, Jake, if you have the same feeling. I need to point that way because it's backwards. So I could point at you. But I have a problem with how the character looks. A thing that I've been finding is that anytime someone critiques how they look, people immediately assume we're going after the actor.
Right.
No,
and
yeah.
That honestly bothers me because like I have an honest criticism of just like, they could have done better. Right. Am I saying the person is trash? No. Am I saying the character's trash? No.
Right. I will say, like, I agree with you that it doesn't look as good as it could. Like, they could have done better. But it's the people that want to say that it's going to mess the show up or it's going to ruin this or that. For them. That's like, why? Just enjoy what we got. And
those are the people that are like, Star Wars is trash now. They didn't give him a cone head. It's over. Everyone give up Star
Right.
Wars.
So
Right.
No.
I get why people would say like that is the Grand Inquisitor, but at the same time, we do not know if that is specifically the Grand Inquisitor, just because they look similar.
Sure.
No, I actually think they are credited as the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
haven't looked at
entirely
credits,
sure
but-
whether they are or not, but I mean, there's enough differences if you look at it. You can go, okay, well, you know, the red lines under the eyes aren't very big. The markings on the head are completely different. The
He is
size,
10
the
years
shape
younger
of-
in this too, by the way.
So what you're saying is he went on a weight loss program and it shrunk his
head
skull.
may have gotten bigger.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You never
The
know.
cone head.
Maybe their head gets more coney the
Because
older they get,
one
they
in
get.
Revenge of the Sith looks older. That's
very
That
coney
is
and less-
absolutely true.
And as it does it like stretch out the red?
There's a
marks?
lot of ifs, ands, and buts that we just.
I mean, just
It's
That's
a,
like
it's
Star
a
Wars.
style choice that I do not agree with as of right now. But at the same time, if the show's good, I don't care. They
Right.
could sit there and paint him purple and it'd be like, yep, that's the Grand Inquisitor because they did a wonderful job. That's
yeah.
it.
They
They could just
some degree-
screen grab Thanos and put it into the show and it'd be like Grand Inquisitor. As long as
You know,
it's good.
To some degree, I absolutely agree with you. I think that, you know, if we're going to do this, then we have to have some level of connection between the two, other than just you know, slapping some paint on them and throw them out there as who they are. But then I also think of it from what you just said. That's my aspect of it. I don't necessarily need it to be exact from art to real life for the live action, as long as the content is good, the acting is good, the storyline is good, then I'm going to be good with what's going on screen. So,
Right. Yeah, if anybody should be upset, Ahsoka's my favorite. She's my go-to, and you know, they ruined the way she looked, in my opinion, but it doesn't take away from her character for me at all. So
okay. So do you have a
exactly
problem
the
with
same.
how Rosario Dawson portrays her?
I don't. She does good acting wise. I don't think she portrays the look as good. Like I saw a cosplayer at Collective Con this weekend. Literally looks like she jumped out of the screen from Rebels and was standing in front of me.
I know who
that's cool.
you're talking about because I follow them on TikTok and saw their cosplay where they were at that convention.
Send me their profile because I don't know who they
I
are.
absolutely will do that right after this because
Me too, please.
100%. They full on like
The
appearance, the montrals, everything, the
face,
armor,
like,
lightsabers. They just exemplify Ahsoka, and I think they said they spent like $75 or something like that to make most of the suit. And I'm just like,
Right.
This is a random person who went to a craft store and bought less than $100 worth of stuff and made a better suit than the multi-billion-dollar company. What's going on here?
It happens. So I mean, I love it when cosplayers get it right and they do such a good job at like. So the very first interview that we ever did here on Funny Science Fiction was with the cosplayer who does Captain Rex. I posted this to my TikTok. I think it was yesterday, but a small movie that we had made for him, and but his Captain Rex uniform is so screen accurate, it's ridiculous. You know, just the marks, the check marks on the helmet and on his wrist and everything, and the, you know, like this, even down to where the smudges are on the helmet.
Right.
It was just ridiculously good. And so we talk with him about that. So I have an appreciation for wanting to do it right.
Right.
And I love it when it's done right. But I'm having a problem with the way that people are going after. I think it was Ben who mentioned it about, you know, going after the actor for it.
Oh,
right.
you know.
It's not Rupert Friend's fault that
there is no reason ever to go after an actor or actress for a character they portray.
Right.
No reason. If
Unless they
people
suck.
go
If they
after
really,
them,
really suck, I don't have a problem with that.
it honestly is just terrible where people conflate the character with the person who portrays them.
Right.
Because that causes problems. That causes a lot of problems.
No, agreed, absolutely. Yeah.
I think Chris in the comments just said if they could do like a Sonic the Hedgehog to where like maybe right before it comes out or after the fact they like visually change how the Grand Inquisitor looks.
I mean, all they have to do is take it into a program and just use the stretch button. Just go.
So
Yeah,
that is
pretty
something I was
much.
going to say in regards to like the Ahsoka or any of the ones we mentioned. They can do all this stuff with Luke, right? They can make Luke look so identical to how he was, but they can't just see. I know that they want to go real, but like they can't CGI Ahsoka's like because she can't fight with the long ones, right? But they can't CGI it.
I had the exact same thought where I'm like, you don't need all that makeup and everything on.
Right.
What was the? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. The actor's name. No, the person playing Grand Inquisitor.
Rupert Friend.
Yeah, Rupert Friend.
Yes. Like you could just have Rupert Friend with like dots across his head. That's it, and they could just throw stuff on top afterwards.
Right, because if you think Josh Brolin was sitting there with all that Thanos makeup and everything on him, you're highly mistaken.
Yeah.
And Thanos looked pretty killer in Marvel.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they could
love the non CGI'd version where it's just
it's
green
fantastic.
screens and he's got like the Thanos chess piece in one
like
hand
huge,
and he's just sitting there like
on him. Yeah,
it's
pretty entertaining.
So one thing I think is because they're producing so many shows, I think they are cutting the budgets on these, which
Probably.
I think is kind of a slight mistake on their end.
Right, because even if they have to cut budgets, they should not make it look like they're cutting budgets.
Right.
Which was pretty evident in the Book of Boba Fett, especially with the scooters.
Yeah. Scooter scene. Scooter
Let's not
squad.
go there again.
Obviously, those were perfect, Nick.
There was nothing wrong with that 5 mile an
Goody
hour
Puff
chase.
Jr., be nuts.
Well, that's why they didn't get dusty, is they drove so slow.
Yeah, you gotta keep them shiny clean.
We gotta chase this guy.
I'm assuming our Facebook user is Casey on both of these comments.
Assuming you couldn't have read the Facebook message I sent you.
I did, but I saw it for the one. I was making sure it was the same for both.
It's funny because
Pretty sure.
Captain.
So hi Casey. This is Casey the Madman from the Scene Snobs podcast. Howdy.
It is funny because man, I'm drawing lots of blanks today. Oh, Captain Rex did put out a 12-month calendar.
Oh yeah, you want to see the video where we show off a couple of the pictures from it?
Yes, please.
I am concerned, but also interested.
Well, it has to do with Casey's comment of "sexy Rexy."
Oh boy.
And here we go.
That
So anyway, there's that.
I forgot about
That
that.
was fantastic.
Yeah, according to Rex, they did that because they were getting so many of the thirst trap requests, and so he's like, "Fine, let's steer into it a little bit." And they made a lot of those pictures, made a calendar out of it. So there was
I
that.
love it.
So
Funnily enough, that actually reminded me of a thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, I couldn't read the whole comment from John.
yeah,
Oh,
I was I was bringing up the Yao me likey because the sexy Rexy. John says, yeah, they're cutting some corners, but we're going to getting 10+ hours of new Star Wars content this calendar year. There's more new content than we used to get in a decade. I will give you that.
That is 100% true. But my thing with that is you can cut corners and you can save money without like sacrificing the quality. I mean,
The
look at
quality
what
of
they did
content,
with The
yeah.
Mandalorian. Most of The Mandalorian was filmed in that massive like TV room, so they didn't have to shoot on location anywhere.
Mhm.
To save money for the final fight, they hired the 501st, people in screen accurate stormtrooper suits.
Right.
That's saving money for the company, great. But you also now have this amazing quality product that you can hand to people.
He's a puppy.
Plus, it gets the absolute wonderful passion of the community to jump in and just be like, hey, you need stormtroopers, you need clone troopers, you want a flashback with Captain Rex?
Right.
This guy looks like he jumped straight out of the TV. Like,
Right.
Yeah, he does a really good job at it. Matter of fact, he's brand new to not brand new, but new to TikTok, and he's got an amazing TikTok channel, and he's sharing a lot of his content on there. He's been on Instagram for quite a while, but he's now on TikTok, and I'll have to get his username for everybody, but that's
send to me.
Yeah, it's great stuff. We're gonna get him on. He's gonna be on the show here in a couple weeks, hopefully. So we're gonna have him back on and talk to him. But yeah,
Is he
so
gonna still be masked? Because I know he didn't want people knowing his.
no,
identity.
actually, he came the last time he came on. You were unable to make that live show. He came on and unmasked himself and came on with his real name. But every time I give him a chance to unmask himself and share his real name if he wants to, because so I just call him Rex. So in response to John's comment, though, here's my only problem with that concept of we're getting more content than we've gotten in the last decade, and that's absolutely true. I can't argue that even a little bit. My problem is, and I'm going to go with the screaming fanboy logic of Disney makes so much money they can just throw whatever they want at it. And here's the problem. I almost agree with it. That I have a problem when they cut corners to save money on something when they can throw money at it for the proper content because they know that they're going to get the watches and the subscriptions out of it, and people are going to come for that content if they're doing it right.
Yeah, I agree.
I have same opinion, because it's like I could understand maybe like brand new TV show, you're not sure if it's going to land, don't give it a huge budget, but this is Star Wars. You know it's going to make money.
Can I add to that as well?
It
may be Star Wars, but this is also Kenobi. So like this should have been the high. This should be like movie status quality.
Gold
like,
standard. Should have been gold standard.
And more than gold. It should be like diamond. This should be like
platinum.
I know people who haven't touched, like they haven't touched Disney Star Wars after The Last Jedi, and they're unbelievably excited for Kenobi. They're like,
this is core Star Wars for most people.
Yeah, absolutely. This harkens back to the OG trilogy. This is, people who loved Ewan McGregor in the prequels, and
right.
they got their Kenobi fix through the Clone Wars and everything else. This should be the
bridge between worlds, man. Bridge between generations. Like, I grew up with the prequels. My parents grew up with the original trilogy. So, like, for this, like, together, this is just insane that we're even getting this. And then I don't know if you guys have seen all the confirmed stuff for Hayden Christensen, but we're apparently supposed to be getting them in flashbacks with Clone Wars armor, and then we're getting, them in real time. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
Which that actually I meant to bring up before with the sexy Rexy video. There's a shot of him putting the helmet on from behind, and if you pause the trailer at a certain point, it's the back of Tamara Morrison's head, and everyone's like, Rex, Cody, Rex.
And the Obi-Wan trailer?
Yeah, that picture we were just looking at actually is the same picture.
I struggle so much with the phrase "sexy Rexy," so much, because I actually know a guy named Rex who calls himself Sexy Rexy, and he's anything but.
Yeah, I know a Sexy Rexy too. He's not my type, but he's somebody else's type, so we'll go with that. But that name there, the OG Captain Rex that you see on the screen, that's his Twitch handle and his TikTok handle. Strongly suggest you guys go give everybody watching and listening.
I said
It's OG_CPTN_Rex.
I
So-
may have said Twitch and it's supposed to be TikTok, but my brain is not.
Actually, I think it's also his Twitch account as well.
Okay.
So
And I
if not,
confirmed that
Let's
because
find out.
it says in the
Nope, not
Little-
Twitch.
blurb.
Okay.
Okay.
Does not exist on Twitch.
all right,
It
I'll
says a
find
little
it.
blurb on TikTok that it's Captain Rex on Instagram, and that you guys made me do this.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I agree with it, Casey as well. Here, Obi-Wan must be the pinnacle of that feeling when we saw Luke in The Mandalorian. Yeah,
I was gonna say that when I saw the trailer and I heard the music, and then like the Vader breathing on top of the Anakin music from after he
Mhm.
kills the Separatists on Mustafar, like that already gave me a hint of that feeling again. I remember watching Luke in Mando season 2 in the middle of the night. You know, I'm on Eastern time, so it's 3 a.m. for me. My kid and my wife are asleep, and I instantly had to get up and run into the other room. I started like bawling my eyes out and freaking out. So
Same.
I think this is gonna blow that out of the water. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think this is gonna destroy numbers for views and just ratings. I guarantee this is gonna be amazing. And if it's not, I'll be the first one to say it's not. So
Well, and I feel like it's going to be, there are going to be so many things with it that we're probably going to disagree with, that we're going to be disappointed by, that we're going to wish they had brought whatever in. But I feel like there's also going to be we're finally getting, I mean, from what we're expecting anyway, we're getting full strength Vader.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Hayden Christensen getting to be Vader.
I want more
Without
Vader
George
like what I
Lucas's
saw.
writing.
Yeah, I want more Vader like what we saw in Rogue One.
Yes.
So I need that in my life.
More than Rogue One. I want like the true Dark Lord Vader. Like my perfect envision for episode 1. I'm not even sure what I want for the first chunk, but literally the last 5 minutes, I just want Hayden Christensen Vader just demolishing like hidden Jedi, just one swipe, Jedi Masters just into the ground without a second thought.
I want the post suit full Vader, but then finding out that Padme's dead and like getting
gets
that anger. I
Casey
want
gets it.
yeah,
Yes!
so that's the thing that's making me so excited for this show that I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about. There's just so much time in between these shows and movies. Like, so it's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, 10 years before A New Hope. So we have literally so much time. So like they're going to do flashbacks. We know that because we know Vader's going to be in a back to tank, and
Right.
the flashback to tank. And we're going to get those scenes. You know, they could literally do anything. They can rewrite Legends. Like, we don't know what happens anymore in between these times. So
Right.
they can go anywhere from, you know, covering the Vader comics where he goes and, you know, kills Jedi, or, you know, we can get flashbacks of Clone Wars. Like, there's just so much that's so unexplored that I'm just ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm very curious because they've brought some things in from Legends. They've kind of pick and choose what they were going to do and how they're going to do it, and I'm completely fine with that's their right. Whatever, they own the content. They get to pick how the story is told. But I am curious to see, like you were just mentioning, I'm hoping that we get to see some top notch Vader anger. You know, because my whole life I wanted to see Vader in something more than just the scary guy on the other side of the room and a couple small lightsaber battles.
right.
He was always intimidating. He was always scary. And that is one of the absolute reasons why I love Rogue One is it's an amazing story. It's beautifully filmed. It's well done. It's a very tightly framed movie. It's just, it's almost perfect Star Wars.
Right.
And then there's the reason I giggle every single time he walks in and just starts slicing and dicing, throwing people up against the ceiling. And I'm like, oh,
How
yeah.
many people have wanted to do that to a business meeting, though? I mean,
Every single one I was in.
everybody ever. This meeting could have been an email.
Pretty much.
It
And
also shows
John, we're going to fire you if you bring this up again. I'm just gonna say.
but it also shows the stark difference between like the power between a Jedi or Sith and just the general population.
Mhm.
Right.
Like, there's a reason why the Separatists needed thousands and thousands of battle droids just to kill a single Jedi.
Right.
Right.
Yish. Absolutely.
Now,
don't know.
all that power with no restraint and no, like, care for murder. Terrifying.
This
Yeah,
is why they needed the clones to do Order 66 and not the battle droids.
Mhm.
I feel like if the Star Wars fans as a collective can just go into this with be grateful you're getting more Star Wars. We'll figure it out later. Like, I know that everybody's gonna pick it apart and rip into it, and
That's my thing though, is why do so many people judge stuff off the trailers? The trailers are supposed to just get you hype. Be hype. Like, get the hype
Right.
going. I want everybody to be excited for it. And if it crashes and burns, then talk about it.
right.
Don't expect it to be bad, or don't want it to be bad because it's Disney Star Wars. Like,
And you're gonna go into it
Nope.
thinking this is gonna be crap.
Exactly.
If you get yourself in that mindset, you
It's gonna
don't
just
know
ruin
what
it
it's
for you.
going to be. We've
Yeah.
got what is it? Is it a 2-minute trailer?
barely.
Yeah.
It's like a
Less
minute,
than
30
that.
seconds.
Minute 40 something, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, the thing is that we live in an age where you get more clicks if
Right.
you're the negative and you have something
Yeah.
sour to say.
Yeah.
And if you can talk down a character, you know, and you can try and bash Kathleen Kennedy and all these other things, and
Just giving Kathleen's a bad name. We can
No,
do that
actually-
to ourselves. Thank
you know what? No, I have a hard time when people give Kathleen Kennedy crap. I really do. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have Jon Favreau. We wouldn't have
Right.
Dave Filoni. We wouldn't have the movies that we have.
and
Where there's so much that she's done positive.
They just
I
focus on the negative.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's focusing on these little bits of negative, and then when these negative things come up, oh, it's absolutely her fault. Well, yeah, but if you look at how long she's been with Lucas and all the things that she's done, not just Star Wars, but Indiana Jones as well.
If you think about how much crap George Lucas did to it himself.
Let me ask you guys a question. If this show isn't as good as you want it to be, where are you guys going to be standing with Star Wars and Disney?
The same place I am right now. When's the next show coming?
Right, yeah.
I mean, because here's the
Give me
thing.
Mando
Honestly,
season
yeah.
3, and I will forgive all of their sins again.
Because here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the sequel trilogies. I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. Because basically, in my mind, it was The New Hope, part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I had problems with The Last Jedi. I have problems with The Rise of Skywalker. But there are things about each of those movies that I still enjoy. It's still Star Wars. There's still good content inside of those movies. Yeah, there's things I would have liked to have done differently, but I don't have the millions of dollars that it takes to correct it and make it better. Right. So I'm going to sit down, shut up, and enjoy what's there. It's the same thing I have with Book of Boba Fett. There are things about Book of Boba Fett that absolutely drive me batty.
Yeah. That
I would love to have seen different, but there's still enough content in there that I'm like, yeah, this is cool. It's Boba Fett. This is awesome. This is still Star Wars. I'm still here for it.
Right.
And
so sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel like with Book of Boba Fett too, that a lot of it was just that we had set our expectations so high because there were so many things that as fans were like, oh, they're gonna do and they're going to bring, and we had put Boba Fett on this pedestal that got knocked over by a Wrangler. Like,
right,
sir, John, we don't talk about the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It didn't happen. We don't talk about it.
I was actually fine with that
movie.
I was actually fine with that movie short of 3. I have 3 major issues.
What are your 3 major issues?
Okay, 4 major issues.
Number 1, it exists.
Number 1, the crawling into the refrigerator to survive a nuclear blast.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been melted in that fridge.
Yep.
Number 2, the ants that the guy that eat the dude at the end. That's not how those work. That's not how it's done. That's false. The swinging on the vines and the tree supporting the armored vehicle. That's all one big huge problem for me because those vines aren't that big. And then it turning into Space Odyssey 2001 at the end. Those are my issues. Other than that, there are parts of that movie that I find absolutely hysterical. There are parts of the movie that I find great. There's classic Indy lines throughout of that. You're biting on those W's a little hard, aren't you? I laugh every time Indy says that. So yeah,
I just
I do
love Shia
appreciate that
LaBeouf.
your issue with it is not Shia LaBeouf, because that was so
I
many.
love Shia LaBeouf.
I do too.
He's amazing.
I don't have a problem with Shia LaBeouf's character in that movie. Even when they hinted at the fact that he could be the next Indy when
I
he
was
picked
so
up the hat at the end.
down for it, dude. I was so down. For that.
So but yeah.
But now
I-
there's
I'm-
Indy 5. Is it 5?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
show, or
They're
is it-
working on-
There's a show coming out.
Dude.
Right?
They need to let this man rest. Like,
Harrison Ford is so sick of their crap. Like,
he was sick of like acting probably 30 years ago and just kept going because he's like, they're giving me money. Why do I care?
They're backing up a Brinks truck every time he gets on camera.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hey, don't be too sad about
Please.
Cobb Vanth. You're getting him back.
He's alive.
He's alive. He's in the back to tank at the end.
Him and Din are gonna be like
Puppy.
co-dads for
Puppy.
Grogu.
Do you want to be
Hi,
in the
Puppy.
podcast?
Smooches.
My
Say hi.
butt is right
Must
there.
give smoochies.
Just asleep.
Um,
Just
anyways,
vibing.
so what I was going to say about our opinions on sequel trilogy and how we're going to stand after if this show is bad.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, the way they fixed, first of all, I'll start off with this. The way they fix the sequel trilogies, and not fix, but make it better, is more content. So if they put out some Disney Plus shows, I want a Finn show. They did him so wrong. I want to see
Oh my
Boom.
god.
what I
Boom,
want
boom,
him.
boom.
I want him to be redeemed. He doesn't have to become a Jedi. He just has to have his own show, and he has to be dope. You know,
Boom.
I
wanna
100%
see-
agree.
yeah.
Except on the fact that he needs to be a Jedi. You do not give this man a
I agree.
lightsaber. You do not give
I
him
agree.
force sensitivity. You do not give him everything he's had and then go, he's actually not a Jedi.
I agree. They don't have to, is what I'm saying, though, to make that a good show.
To
But
make it
would I
better,
like
yeah.
that? Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to see him complete it and be the circle and become a Jedi and all those things. But at the end of the day, I just don't want him to be done dirty. I want him to have a
Right,
chance to be a character that like we saw in Force Awakens, and we got teased so hard, and so did Boyega. John Boyega got teased so hard
He
as
was
to
mad
what
about it.
They
Finn.
did him so
he-
bad.
He has every right to be mad about
I
it.
would agree.
That was a rough
He actually,
go there.
when Disney Plus first came out, he didn't want to be Disney Plus. He didn't want to get put onto his own show. And now, like, think about how bad he feels about it now, because like Disney Plus, I would argue, is even bigger than some movies at this point. Like Disney Plus, like this KENOBI. I feel like this is huge. Like this is gonna be bigger than a lot of movies coming out now.
Honestly, I love the miniseries format that they've done with Marvel, that they've done with Star Wars. I am down for this. Bring it back in. Let's have more content brought in this way.
Exactly. Give me the
because
individual characters on TV shows,
Right.
and bring them together in movies.
Because if you look at it, your average movie is between 2 and 2.5 hours,
Mhm.
unless it's the Batman, then it's like 12 hours long.
Yep.
Still haven't seen it. Need to.
Still, I haven't either. I'm going
just
to. I'm
saw it
trying-
last
It
night.
was amazing. I like
Yeah,
it.
I'm hoping to see
I
it this
will-
upcoming weekend.
I will watch it when I can watch it at home and pause it.
So, but I love the fact that your average movie is 2.5 hours. We're getting 6 to 8 episodes per series. We're getting anywhere between 6.5 to 9 hours of content per show. So we're able to draw these stories out, pack more information into them, and it's such a good content filler to do it this way. I'm hoping that we get more of them.
Yeah, even with like Amazon, how they're also taking when they do books, they're like, we're spacing this out.
Do.
And
Thank you, Tim.
I honestly do think that's the format that's going to keep happening from now on, because you could take a movie budget and make 7 or 8 episodes, like an hour long. And if they
Right.
could just do that, then it's going to get to a point where it's like, why bother making movies?
Right.
I'm
But
down
also
for the
with
the miniseries content. So you know.
absolutely. But with the John Boyega like getting his own show as Finn, 100%, I would want that show to be Finn is Rey's first Padawan. That's it.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
I'd be
dope.
down for
like
Um,
brand new Master
Yeah,
Jedi. Here's your
I
apprentice.
agree. I think they should skip a little ahead if they're going to do anything like that. Give us a time where we don't see, but it's implied that Rey, they could do like flashbacks, but that she has trained under somebody, or like, she's become this powerful character rather than just kind of just happening. Or this kind of thing.
Just the
and then then she can train. So that would fix a little bit for me. Like, I don't want to use fix because some people enjoy the way they are. In my opinion, I think they could have been better, and this would help sway my opinion. But as in regards to the Disney Star Wars stuff, if they bomb this show, I couldn't tell you guys where I'd stand, to be honest. I don't really know how I'm gonna feel. Obviously I'll be upset, but I don't know if I could just say nope, I'm done with Star Wars. I couldn't do that.
Right. I don't think that it's going to be a make or break with Star Wars.
Because there's things that I don't watch as often that that are part of Star Wars. I just don't watch as often because
You're just stealing his chair now.
I love it. All right, we've got about 5 minutes left here. Nick, why don't you go ahead and we'll start wrapping this up.
I was going to say, your vow with Star Wars, Tim, in sickness and in health, it goes two ways.
Star Wars is my kiss marrow.
I haven't said that in a long time. Y'all just keep bringing it up.
You brought it up enough to begin with, so now we're just going to continue using it again.
It's probably burned into your memories a little bit.
All right. So last Friday, our guest was Aaliyah Jones, one of the stars of the hit Netflix series Lock and Key, playing the role of Eden Hawkins. Not to mention that she has an absolutely delightful singing voice, and we talked about her music as well. That surprised me, and I even edited it.
You forgot about it. Nice.
I did. And you can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers. And remember, your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help. So please don't forget to click like and subscribe as you watch the videos.
But our guest this week is a longtime actor and voice actor with credits in The Watchmen, many different anime and video games like Destiny 2. Might have heard of it, maybe.
Hello, this is Sally Safiotti, the voice of Aramis from Destiny 2. You are listening to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
I'm so excited for that episode.
So Sally was really cool. We so this Friday we're sharing our conversation, as noted there, with the amazing Sally Safiotti. We talk about her on-screen, her off-screen work, her roles in Destiny 2 as Aramis, Claudine Wolfe on Monsters High, Annie Leibovitz from The Watchmen, and so much more. She's got her IMDb list is a nonstop run. He's a puppy. Hi, puppy.
You just need to get on their own.
He's going to fight the headphones.
You can't even hear what I'm saying.
That dog's going to get its own podcast by the end of the night.
Yes.
But probably get more views than all of us,
that.
too.
Yeah, right.
I would totally watch that. All right, so be sure to tune in this Friday. You can watch that or listen to it on your favorite audio podcast provider. But if you do watch it on YouTube, please click the like and the subscribe button. That is a huge help to us and helps us and our show to continue to grow.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got.
That is it. That
Can't
is
be.
it.
We have to go back to our normal lives now,
No, we're just gonna stretch it another hour.
right?
But wait, there's more. KENOBI! Look, any chance I have to have Sam Witwer yell KENOBI, it's going to happen. I'm going to squeeze that in wherever I can. So, but yeah, so check that out this Friday. We'll be looking forward to it. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for coming on, Jake. Thanks for coming on, Ben. Appreciate you guys' time as always. You guys are awesome. And please, guys, go check out Jake the Jedi on TikTok, on YouTube. He's got a podcast coming up. You won't be disappointed. And the same for Ben. Go to TikTok, find him there, Hearty _healer. follow both of these guys. They've got some amazing content. They're just really cool, fun guys to chat with and hang with. So, but yeah,
And
your
sometimes
puppy.
puppies.
And the
There's a
puppy.
There's a
This is
sleepy
Jamie.
puppy right here.
There is.
Here-
Jamie.
My doggy's probably very jealous that she doesn't get to be on here, but I have a tiny space and
Thank you, Casey. Have a great night, buddy.
she's a klutz. All right.
You need to
All
set
right,
up,
guys.
like, a camera and a green screen to just have your dog just in the background.
I should. That would be
Yeah.
great.
That'd be entertaining. All
You
right.
need to do one from home so that you can have Toast in the show, Tim.
Oh yeah, we have a little
Because
corgi
Toasty's
named
my
Toast.
favorite. Not that Mia's not great, but Toast. And her little
Yeah,
fluffy
just-
corgi butt.
Yep, her little loaf of bread butt. All right, guys, that's our show for tonight. Thanks for listening to Funny Science Fiction Podcast. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySci-Fi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.